Alright, welcome back for another Nightmare on Elm Street talk for Nightmare November, which I was kind of worried I wasn't even going to get these done. And this is the whole theme of the month on the channel, is Nightmare November. Freddy's the banner, and it's the fucking 24th of November. I was like, shit, I gotta get this done. I'm like, why the fuck am I doing Puppet Master when the whole point of me making this Nightmare November is talking about fucking Nightmare on Elm Street? So I don't know, and I'm starting to really like the whole watch me watch format I'm doing, because now the last video on the first Nightmare on Elm Street is the first like regular video, my normal type videos that I've done in a little bit, like a week and a half or so. Kind of liking the other format better, to be honest. So I'll see how I can merge the two going forward, because I absolutely really like doing it that other way. So we'll see, who knows. But 1985's Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge, directed by Jack Shoulder, who was the director for Alone in the Dark, who I was just talking about that movie with Sean and Echo earlier tonight, and which is a fucking underrated movie and such a great movie. And that was his directorial debut. This was his next film, and then he also directed a few other things and directed Wishmaster 2, which I absolutely love. Wishmaster 2. If you've seen my video on that, you'll know how much I love it, and Morgana in that movie. But awesome stuff. And now the whole stuff with the gay undertones and everything in this movie, who gives a shit? Like, really? Like, if that's the people's only reason for not liking this movie is that there's gay undertones in it, then you're a prick. Like, seriously, like, straight up. Like, if that's the only reason that you can give for why you don't love this movie or like this movie at all, is because, oh, there's so much gay stuff in it, fuck you. Like, seriously. Like, that's your reason for not liking a movie, is because there's some gay undertones in it? I don't know. I'll never understand it. But people who watch this channel enough know this is my favorite Nightmare on Elm Street. This is my favorite movie in the franchise, which is very unpopular of an opinion to have, but it's my favorite. It has so many of my favorite things in this series. It has my favorite Freddy. He looks so evil in this movie. He's so dark. He's so fucking terrifying in this movie. More so than the first one. He's just something about the way they did his makeup and just the way he delivers his lines and Englund in this is awesome. Like, the most evil sounding and looking Freddy in the franchise. It has my favorite special effect in the whole series. It has my favorite line from Freddy in the whole series. My favorite shot in the whole series. Like, so many favorites in this franchise are in this movie for me. So we start with the bus dream. We have Jesse Walsh, and he is the male scream queen of this movie, which, if you haven't seen the documentary on Tubi, I think it's called My Nightmare on Elm Street, and then like a tagline or something, and it's all about Patton saying about his experience and stuff making the movie. It's a great documentary, actually. Like, you should definitely check that out if you haven't seen it. But great stuff. And just, I love the whole opening with this, with the dream, with the bus. How it just starts speeding up, and then it's running through the fucking desert and driving all over the dunes, and then it just, the ground starts cracking away until it's just one pillar of rocks or whatever that the bus is like fucking teeter-tottering. I don't even know what I meant to say there. Teetering. I don't know why I added toddling. That's not even a fucking word, right? I do that all the time and make up words, so you should be able to deal with it by now. Like, it's like nothing else I can say. But just the fact that how cool that looks, of just the bus just teetering on the rocks and stuff, looks awesome. And then Freddy gets on the bus, and then he ends up waking up. Such a cool opening dream sequence. And then Jesse's scream, he has a few of them in this movie, are just fucking hysterical. Like, every time he screams in this movie is so funny. Like, I crack up every single time. But he earned his fucking title as the male scream queen, because damn does he scream his ass off in this fucking movie, man. And I love how the family is like eating breakfast while he screams, and the mom just kind of like looks up, and then they just like continue on. Like, this is, this has like been a thing for a while now, since they moved into this house, into Nancy's old house. Like, I love how nonchalant they are when they hear him screaming, like waking up from the dream. They're just like, all right, like, it's just Jesse having a bad dream again. Like, it's so funny. And the mom can't cook eggs well. Like, when you look at those eggs she's cooking, they are, like, pretty burnt. Like, I wouldn't want those eggs. I'd tell her if I was a husband back in that day, bitch, get back in there and make me more eggs. Like, not being sexist, I'm just saying I'm eggist and I don't like burn eggs. So make me some new ones. Those are definitely not edible to the look of those eggs in the pan. Like, not at all. And then Lisa is so adorable in this movie. Like, she's my favorite. I don't even know what to call her since she's not a final girl. I guess she is, but she's like not the final person of this movie. I don't know what to call her. I just love Lisa. She's such a great character, and she's so cute. And then Grady ends up telling, and I love Grady too. Like, every character in this movie is awesome. Like, I love Grady, I love Jesse, I love Lisa, I love Lisa's friend that I never remember the name of, her black friend. All awesome main characters. And Grady ends up telling him the history of the house and that there was a crazy girl, Nancy obviously, who lived there and saw her boyfriend get killed by a maniac across the street. I mean, it sounds a little like dumbed down from what actually happened, but we'll go with it. Like, he should have mentioned that there was a fucking geyser of blood that the boyfriend turned into, and just there was nothing left of his body at all. There was no remains or anything. And just, I forgot to mention that in the first movie, like when they say the coroner, like, where's the coroner? And he's like, oh, he's in the bathroom puking, like, ever since he saw it or some shit like that. That's so funny. But then we have Jesse's dream again, and the dreams in this one, it's not as seamless as the first movie. It's always pretty obvious when he's dreaming, but it works for the film, like for the whole plot of this movie, that Freddy is trying to get Jesse to kill for him and that he's trying to take over Jesse's body and stuff. It works for the film. Like, it doesn't bother me really at all that it's not as seamless between like the dream world and reality and stuff. But just thought that was something to mention. And just Freddy's line of, you got the body, I got the brain. He pulls his fucking skin back and his brain is exposed. Great, great stuff. And then Jesse's whole dance with the hat and the fucking glasses and shit, and the thing he's holding is a microphone, and he's grinding against the table, the fuck's the word I'm looking for, dresser. When he's like pushing his ass against the dresser. And I'm not saying there aren't gay undertones in this movie. There absolutely are. Like 100%. I'm just saying, if that's your only reason for not liking this movie, then you're an asshole. Like, you're just a homophobe. In my opinion. Like, just saying, if that's the only reason that you can think of that you don't like this movie, oh, that movie's gay, then you're a fucking prick. Like, that's my response to that. But, of course, there are gay undertones in this movie, like 1,000%. But should not take away from the film, like, in any way, like, shape or form, at all. But that whole sequence of him dancing around and stuff, and then Lisa shows up. Dude, imagine being a teenage boy. That's got to be so embarrassing. Listening to that, like, 80s fucking pop music. Dancing around your room with a hat and fucking like glitzy fucking glasses on you, and then the girl that you like and you know that she likes you and is into you too, and she comes in and catches you like that, dude, I would never go to school again. Like, that would be it. Like, a good thing that she loves Jesse so much, and I'll get into that later, but good fucking thing that she does, because if that was anybody else, that shit would have been all over the school the next fucking morning. Are you serious? Like, that would have been all over the school. His social life would have been finished if that ever came out. That he was fucking dancing around to some fucking record with fucking glitzy glasses on and grinding up against shit. Absolutely. He'd be ostracized from that school forever. And I liked his next stream too, with the hat melting and stuff on the whatever it's hung up on, and the vinyl record is hanging over from being overheated. It looks like a Salvador Dali painting. Really, really cool. Then he ends up finding Freddy's glove in the boiler room downstairs. Just, I don't know, I might take back what I said like a minute ago about the dreams and stuff not being as seamless. They are, but in a different way than the first movie, I guess is the right way to say it. Because there are a few times in this movie that it is pretty fucking seamless between reality and the dreams and which is happening at that moment. Like later when we see with the coach and everything, and Freddy's there and he ends up killing the coach, and then you see the glove on Jesse's hand, and you see that a few times throughout this movie. So it does do a good job of blending reality with the dream world, just I guess in a different way. So I take back what I said a minute and a half ago about the dreams not being as seamless. They are in a different way. So I'm sticking with that. Fuck you. That's the answer. And the scene with the birds, the parakeets, such a cool scene. And the daughter, her little line of don't be quiet, the birds are sleeping. No, they are not. Like, they were awake when the mom put the sheet over the parakeet cage. They are wide awake. And then Jesse comes down like 30 seconds later and she says, shh, they're sleeping. No, they're not. I don't know why that bothers me every time I watch this, but it does. They're not sleeping. Like, they're getting ready for bed. You could say that. Like, be quiet. They're trying to sleep. They are not sleeping. Unless there's something I don't know about birds, about specifically parakeets. Those are parakeets, right? I'm pretty sure they are. I'm not a fucking bird expert, but I'm pretty sure they're parakeets. Unless there's something I don't know that they can just and they're fucking sleeping. I don't think that's the thing. So I'm going to stick with my guns and say it's a stupid line. They should have said something different. They're trying to sleep. Much better. I don't know. Just a nitpick for you guys, as always. And then with the bird just flying around and then how it spontaneously combusts into fucking flames in the air. That is hilarious. Every time I watch this, I crack up hysterically. Just something you don't see every day. You don't see fucking a parakeet just burst into flames in midair for no reason at all. Like, absolutely hysterical scene. And then the dad trying to rationalize it and saying it's the heat, it's too hot in here, and then saying that, asking Jesse, or telling Jesse, like, you set this whole thing up, and like, you used a goddamn cherry bomb. Yeah, alright, because that's a thing that would happen. What type of stupid fucking rationalization is that? That he used a cherry bomb. What, he stuck the cherry bomb up the fucking parakeet's ass? And then found a way to light it, like, while the bird's flying around? Because that scene goes on for a decent amount of time. So, what a stupid thing to say from the father there. Like, that makes no sense at all. And then Jesse goes to the S&M bar. Like, this is what I'm saying with, like, the dreams and stuff, with how seamless they are. Because you think he's dreaming here. But then he goes to this S&M bar that we heard Grady say earlier that the coach frequents. So, is he dreaming? But no, because then the coach catches him there, after he orders a beer. And he takes him back to the school for some reason. Like, that makes no sense, this whole thing of getting the coach killed. I guess they just had to find a way to get them both in the school. But it's fucking nighttime out. It's way past school closed hours. And he just decides this person who I'm the coach for during school hours is here after hours having a fucking drink. And I'm going to step in and still be the coach and tell him, get your ass to the fucking school and run laps and then take a shower afterwards. Like, come on, like, none of that makes sense at all. None of that would ever happen. But that's what I mean. Is it a dream or not? Because the coach is killed. That actually happens. Because then we see the cop cars the next morning and stuff at the school. And Grady tells him that the coach got wasted last night. So it happened, but how much of it happened, I don't know. And it's very effective with how they handle that. But the whole handling it of getting the two of them to the school alone for the coach to get killed is fucking idiotic. Like, absolutely. And then the coach, after he tells him to go shower, and then the balls are flying everywhere at him. And all right, I know that sounded gay coming out of my mouth just now. That's what happens in the movie. So I don't know if that was another thing people took at the time and just another sexual undertone. I don't know. But coming out of my mouth just now, yeah, that did sound kind of like a little gay coming out of my mouth. But not that there's anything wrong with that. Seinfeld fans? No. Still to this day, I've yet to find someone comment say, fucking love Seinfeld too, because I reference that show a lot on this channel. And then we have the coach gets dragged into the shower, then he gets whipped by the towels come in like on their own and start whipping his ass. And like I said, there are for sure gay undertones in this movie, like 100%. But I'm not going to keep rehashing that shit. He gets whipped in the ass with towels, but then Freddy ends up slashing his back, and I love that scene. It looks so cool, and him getting the cuts on his back, and then the water coming out of the jets of the shower, it just turns to blood, and then he's just hanging there and stuff, like dead. Awesome, awesome scene. Love that. Then he gets returned home, Jesse, and says that he was walking naked on the highway or some shit. So again, how much of that was a dream? How much was reality? I don't know. Like, I'd like to hear people's thoughts on that whole scene, from him leaving the house and going to the S&M bar to being returned home naked by the cops. How much of that is a dream and how much of that was reality? Let me know what you think on that, because I always go back and forth and have different theories like every time I watch it. And then I said that about the cops at the school. And then I liked his dream when he opens the drawer and he sees the glove in the drawer just like moving and stuff with the finger knives. Awesome stuff. And then the creepy ass jump rope girl when he goes into the room. Thinking back, that's not his sister, right? No, that's not. That's just like some creepy girl. But she's doing the jump rope, 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you stuff. Effective, creepy, just like in the first movie. Like, awesome stuff. And then they say Nancy's mom killed herself in the living room. When was that? Like, because we see her killed twice in the first movie. The first time is in the bedroom when she's on the bed and Freddy's all engulfed in flames and her skeleton sinks into the bed. So that's one time we see her die. Then at the end of the movie, when she gets pulled through the window, which I'm sure that killed her. Like, I'm sure she wasn't alive after that. So neither of those were in the living room. So we can argue that the end of the first one, like I said in that video, was just ambiguous. And I like the fact that it is. It adds to the whole mystery and surrealism of it. But we never see her dying in the living room. So I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I don't know if that was just an oversight on the writer when he was writing this. I don't know. But we never see any evidence that she killed herself in the living room. Unless the whole thing of her getting pulled through the window of the door at the end of the first one was a dream. And after that fucking stupid line of like, I don't feel like drinking anymore. I just don't feel like it. That night she just drank herself to death in the living room. That's the only thing I can think of, but who knows? But they do say that, and we never see it. So I don't know what that's about. Then Jesse and Lisa end up going to the power plant where Freddy worked, and this is the first time we hear the amount of children that Freddy killed, which is 20, that he took down to the boiler room and killed them. And fucking rat. I solved the cat jump scare problem a long while ago. For people who watch, you know what I'm talking about. Now I'm working on the rat thing because, again, if you've watched enough, you know how rats in horror movies piss me off so much, especially rat jump scares. And we get a rat in the fucking closet or whatever the hell it is. Not really a jump scare, but they do kind of freak out a little by it. But just seeing a rat just kind of pisses me off like all the time now. Like, regardless of context. Show me a rat in anything, I get mad. That's what horror movies will do to you. They'll make you pissed off at just the sight of a rat. At least for me. I know some people who it doesn't bother them in the slightest. For me, it does. So, I don't know what to tell you. We got to get rid of rats in horror movies. I'm working on a fix for that. So, I fixed the cat problem. once, you know, millions of directors find this channel and they hear about it and stuff like that, then we'll get that problem injected into future horror movies. Now I'll work on the rat thing, and then I have the friend jump scare person that you know, but scares the fuck out of the protagonist for no reason, and then just apologizes, oh, I didn't mean to scare you. That's the third one I gotta work on. Those are the 3 fucking jump scares in movies. I can't fucking stand them. I really can't. And I love Grady's line when they're in the cafeteria the next day, and they ask if Grady wants to hang out that night or something, and Grady's like, I can't, I'm punished, or I'm grounded, and they're like, for what? And he's like, I pushed my grandma down a flight of stairs. Dude, that's fucking great. That is fucking gold. I love that so much. Maybe it's just my sixth sense of humor, but just every time he says that, I picture him shoving an old woman down a flight of stairs, and I just crack up hysterically. Like, there's no way not to, for me. Like, absolutely. And then the pool party kicks off, and when we have Lisa going into the cabana with Jesse, and they start making out and everything, and he starts kissing her breasts and stuff, which I wish we got to see Lisa's breasts in this, but what can you do? Not all 80s slasher movies can have a nice set of tits in them. And we get his tongue that just comes out like fucking super, super long, like it would put Gene Simmons to shame. Like, it looks cool. It looks really cool. And then Jesse runs to Grady's room, and he ends up telling him about everything. He's like, I feel like I'm going crazy, and like something's inside of me, and it's trying to get out, and I killed the coach, and all of that. Then he tells him, don't go to sleep, just watch me, and like see if I'm doing anything crazy, or if I'm dreaming weird. And Grady, just don't fall asleep. Don't have to tell me twice. Like, if a friend of mine came into my room at night and started saying that he killed the coach and started spouting off all this crazy shit that he does, I'm not sleeping. Like, there's not a chance in the world that I would close my eyes with that person in my room or anywhere fucking near me. But Grady's just like, all right, like he sees Jesse fall asleep. Good night, pal, and shuts the lights off. He can sleep after hearing all that? I don't know. Not me. Not one bit. Then that whole scene with Grady, when Grady starts seeing Jesse start to freak out. And best effect in the whole franchise for me. With Freddy ripping out of Jesse's body, it looks so fucking good. To this day, it looks fucking fantastic. It really does. With the fucking nail, you know what I mean, fucking the glove knives coming out of his fingers, and then his whole hand just starts splitting apart, and then you see the eye, like Freddy's eyeball in Jesse's mouth, and then his head just comes like pushing through his stomach, and then he slits it open, and Freddy's head comes out, and he just rips out of Jesse, like he's got a fucking sweat hoodie that he unzipped and just like shook it off. It looks so fucking good. What an amazingly done effect. It looks amazing. And then Lisa is one hell of a trooper, man. Like, Jesse runs to her, and he's covered in Grady's blood after Freddy takes his glove and shoves it through the door and kills Grady, and his parents are on the other side, and they're freaking the fuck out. And cool death scene also with him. But she's a trooper, Lisa, because he comes in covered in blood. She's been with him this whole time, in this whole movie, with him talking about that he has something inside him trying to take over him, and he already told her once that he killed the coach. All of that. And, like, you can deal with some of those things, like with him saying that he killed the coach. You can just say that even that is a little, like, suspicious. Like, absolutely. But you can deal with like the weird dream stuff and the nightmares that he's having and Nancy's diary and all that stuff. But somebody comes in covered in blood and saying he just killed his friend that you know too is a friend of yours, I'm out. Like, that's the moment I'm done. I gotta go right now in 911 immediately. She's a hell of a trooper, and she loves the shit out of Jesse, because to just even still be with him and through this and on his side after seeing him covered in Grady's blood and telling her that he killed Grady, and that he killed the coach. And the fact that she doesn't just run off immediately and screaming, you gotta hand it to Lisa, because I wouldn't be able to do that. There's no chance. I'm out. I'm going to call the police, like 100%. And then the whole pool scene with the hot dogs popping on the grill and the beer cans exploding and the gate locking all the kids in, so cool. And then we get a Freddy versus Lisa scene when Lisa's fighting Freddy off, and the parents don't hear any of this. Like, they hear a noise outside. They hear the music at first, that like when they're trying to fall asleep. Then they hear something downstairs. I forgot what it is. And then, the lock automatically locks on their front door, on their bedroom door. And they're like, Lisa? And then that's it. Then they have Freddy down there that's knocking over fucking plates and crashing on the ground, and Lisa's screaming. They don't hear any of this. They don't start like breaking that door down to get downstairs to their daughter that they're hearing screaming right downstairs. I don't know. That's fucking ridiculous. But who gives a shit? We get the best line from Freddy ever coming up. And then Freddy shows up and he starts slashing people left and right. I love how even you see like some of the people trying to climb the fence, and you see like a girl get fucking trampled to death by the people. Like, they're trying to get over the fence, and like their fucking feet and stuff are like pressing down on the girl and like crack her neck or some shit. She gets like stampeded. That's awesome. And then my favorite shot and my favorite line from Freddy in the whole franchise, with the fire behind him and all the kids and stuff are on the other side, and he just goes like, "You are all my children now." Fucking awesome. Best line from Freddy for me in the whole series. Best shot in the whole series. Like, and just like I said, like, he looks so evil. He looks so dark. And then like when Lisa looks at him like through the flames, how like one eye is like bugging like a little bit. Like, it looks like one eye is bigger than the other one. Oh, I love it. Just that whole sequence is fucking amazing. So good. And then Lisa heads to the power plant because she pretty much assumes this is where Freddy would go. Then we see the dogs with the like human faces. They look like baby faces almost. Like, awesome. Looks really cool. And then when I played Bloodborne, when that, well, 2 years after it came out, I didn't have a PS4 at the time. But if anybody's ever played Bloodborne, there's a level in that game that there's dogs with crows' heads and crows with dogs' heads. I've always makes me think of this movie ever since I played that game. But it looks like baby faces that are on the dogs, and it looks awesome. It looks so weird. It adds to the whole nightmare feel. Awesome stuff. And then, how many people can say that they kissed Freddy and lived to tell the tale? Just Lisa. She actually like gives Freddy a kiss when like he's losing control over Jesse. So she actually kissed Freddy Krueger and lived to tell about it. I don't know who she's telling, or if she even wants to tell anybody about it, because people are going to think she's fucking insane. But she could down the line in her life, if she want, like when she's like 80 and on her deathbed and she doesn't have to worry about being sent to an asylum or some shit. She can bring that up. She can be like, "Oh, this guy I dated in high school, yeah, like he got possessed by this dream demon. And I actually saw it all go down, and I saved him. I fucking said I love you and stuff, and that's another thing. When I said in the end of the last video for the first movie, how they just drop the ball every time with getting rid of Freddy. Like, I guess Lisa's love for Jesse, that's what gets rid of Freddy this time. So in the first movie, it's just I take away all the energy I ever gave you. That's what kills Freddy and gets rid of him. And then this one is just Lisa saying I love you and showing undying love for him. I mean, what are you going to do? It is absolutely ridiculous. Like I said with the last one, can't think of anything better now, but that actually might be an idea for a video, maybe at the end of the month. Fucking better endings for getting rid of Freddy that I'll come up with. Probably won't happen, but I'll try. That's an idea now in my head. I'm thinking of better ways to end these nightmare movies, for sure. But love destroys Freddy, all right. And then we have the whole ending with the bus, and he gets back on the bus, and you think it's gonna turn out just like the beginning of the movie, and the bus starts going faster, and Jesse starts freaking out, and everyone's telling him, no, it's fine. And then we see Freddy's glove bust out of the friend of Lisa's, which I don't know why I don't know this woman's name after how many times I've seen this movie. Do they even mention her name? I don't think they do. I really don't think they mention her name. Maybe once, and it's so in passing that you just don't remember it. But chest burst, fucking finger glove, awesome. And that is the end of Freddy's Revenge. Like I said, my favorite in the franchise for so many different reasons. And I only know like maybe like personally, like 5 people personally who put this as their favorite Nightmare on Elm Street film. Like, you don't meet them too often. People who love Nightmare on Elm Street 2 as much as I do, and as much as a few people I know do. So, if anyone else, this is your favorite Nightmare on Elm Street movie, let me know in the comments, because it is always good to meet other people who love and appreciate this movie for what it is. So, that is a Nightmare on Elm Street 2. My daughter is being dropped off by her mom tomorrow for Thanksgiving, so I'm probably not going to be able to get more than a video up a night for the next few nights that I have my daughter. But I'll have at least one up a night, maybe 2. So Dream Warriors tomorrow, and hopefully part 4, then 5 and 6, and it's done. Like, that's one good thing about the franchise and waiting this long into November, is that it's not like a Friday the 13th series with 13 entries, or Halloween with near the same. Like, we only have 6 movies here in the abysmal remake. So, not going to be long to knock these out. So, hopefully then I can still fit the Phantasm, rest of the Phantasm series in. So, wherever you guys are from, if it's morning for you, I hope you guys have an amazing Thanksgiving. Everybody who watches, everyone who subscribed, all my buddies out there, hope everyone has a healthy, happy holiday with their families. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.